So much at stake, so much on the line. More Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News.
This is an ABC News special report.
Good morning, I'm Diane Macedo. We're coming on the air because we have breaking news. O.J. Simpson has died. His family says Simpson died yesterday, saying he succumbed to his battle with cancer, surrounded by his children and grandchildren. It was revealed in February that Simpson was battling prostate cancer, but he refuted rumors at the time that he was in hospice care. ABC News audio reporter Alex Stone joins me now on the phone. Alex, what do we know at this point?
Well, Diane, his family, as you mentioned, says that he died yesterday, we believe, in Las Vegas, where he had been living. It was only a couple of weeks ago where he had refuted the claims that he was in hospice care right around the Super Bowl. Word had come out that he may have been in hospice care, and he put out a video on X saying that he was fine, looking like he was going to go golfing. His impact on Southern California and really the world cannot be overstated. Going back to his time in the NFL and at USC and then the NFL, then the infamous trial in the 90s for the double murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. He was acquitted of that. There were a number of years where he was in and out of the headlines, and then we covered for a number of months the hotel room armed robbery case in Las Vegas. He ended up going to prison for that, got out, had been living in Las Vegas. His family now saying on X that he has died, Diane.
Alex, he became such a national focal point during that trial for the murders of his wife and his ex-wife at the time and her friend. What legacy does O.J. Simpson leave behind now so many years later?
Well, I think that depending on how one looks at O.J. Simpson, there is the football part of it, the star that he was, the Hertz commercials running through the airport. He was the biggest of the big star before that trial. And then the shock of the trial. There are many Americans who will always believe that he committed that double murder, others who believe that he did not. You remember the lines that came out of that. If it does not fit, you must acquit. The impact of that trial, for those who were not alive during that time or not old enough to remember it, was incredible. The whole world watching that trial during that time, the whole world watching TV and listening to the radio, waiting for that verdict to come down. And then when it came down, much of America did not agree with it. And then he was sometimes almost comically in and out of the headlines over many years. And then to get in trouble again in Las Vegas, to get back his own memorabilia, he got into the memorabilia trade and selling his items over many years. And then went into retirement, always claiming he was looking for the real killers of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. There were always those who were saying he wasn't doing enough to do that if he really was not involved in the murders. But he then went into retirement in Florida and Nevada and had been relatively quiet over the last couple of years.
All right. Alex Stone, thank you. And again, we have breaking news that O.J. Simpson has died. His family says he succumbed to his battle with prostate cancer. O.J. Simpson was 76 years old. And we're going to return you now to your regular programming. For those of you in the West, that's Good Morning America. Our coverage continues on ABC News Live and abcnews.com, and we will have the very latest on world news tonight. I'm Diane Macedo in New York. Have a good rest of the day.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
You're watching ABC News Live's continuing coverage now as we follow this breaking news that O.J. Simpson has died. His family says Simpson died yesterday, saying he succumbed to his battle with cancer, surrounded by his children and grandchildren. Now, we learned in February that Simpson was battling prostate cancer, but he refuted rumors at the time that he was in hospice care. The Heisman Trophy-winning football star became the center of national consciousness when he went on trial for the brutal murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and waiter Ron Goldman. Simpson was acquitted in that criminal trial, but found liable in a civil wrongful death case. In 2008, Simpson was also found guilty of leading a group of men into a Las Vegas hotel and casino to steal what he claims were his own sports memorabilia at gunpoint. He was granted parole in 2017, and in recent years, he became active on social media, often giving his thoughts on current events and pop culture. His family has asked the public to respect their wishes for privacy and grace at this time. And I want to go to our contributor, SiriusXM radio host Mike Muse, for more on this. Mike, O.J. Simpson has a complicated legacy, to say the least. He went from this football hero to this man engraced and surrounded by controversy. How do you think he'll be remembered?
He'll be remembered as very complicated. It's just as you outlined. It's almost you have to look at O.J. Simpson in three different parts. One, from a football player. Second, as a controversial figure who was acquitted for double homicide, and then post-murder trial, the life that he led. As a football player, he really defined being a running back. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. One would even say that he redefined USC's football program and made USC the fighting powerhouse of football that they became. He then went on to have an incredible, successful NFL career where he was adored by many sports fans. He also, too, really brought this energetic style of play to the NFL. Diane, he then began to cross over into acting, into commercials. And at that time, we hadn't seen a football player, or really an athlete at that moment, have such success in the college football arena, then have this incredible success as an NFL player, then to transition into Hollywood and to become a favorite cameo actor, making cameo appearances, and then to do brand commercial deals at that time. Just as Alex Stone just mentioned, the Hertz commercial. He left a legacy when it comes to brand partnerships and advertising and acting, really blending that pop culture into sports. Then comes the second phase of O.J. Simpson, which is the trial. And because of all the things, Diane, that I just outlined, from this incredible college football career to incredible NFL career, then this double murder trial that happened that really changed the way that we looked at courtroom television. It really took us into how courtrooms are run from this very sensational way. And you're showing clips right now, Diane, of that Bronco chase. This was a moment, L.A., Southern California, they're used to seeing car chases, but we weren't used to seeing that in the rest of part of America. I grew up in Lansing, Michigan at the time of that Bronco chase, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I was glued to the television looking at this chase of this iconic man running from the law in fear for what was possible, leaving the world in shock, wondering what is happening in that moment. The world stood still in that moment. And then we began to see this trial. This trial birthed stars in the sense of legal and attorneys. You think about Johnny Cochran. He really redefined what a successful defense attorney was. We at that time as a nation, from a pop culture perspective, really understood how defense attorneys worked. Whether or not you agreed with his tactics, whether or not you agreed with the way that he defended his client, he defined what a successful defense attorney is supposed to do. Also, too, looking at Marsha Clark and the LA prosecutors, really redefining what a prosecutor is and really trying that case in a spectacle of a courtroom was unlike anything that we've ever seen before.
And I want to bring in ABC News audio reporter Alex Stone for more, because, Alex, it was revealed in February that Simpson was battling prostate cancer. But at the time, he refuted rumors that he was in hospice care, saying he was getting ready to throw a Super Bowl party. What do we know at this point about his health problems?
Well, Diane, you're right. It was actually the day of the Super Bowl that there was a tweet that went out that said that he was in hospice care. And he then, within minutes, it was very quickly, put out a video on X saying it showed him sitting in his SUV. He had a golf hat on, kind of a golf outfit, saying he was great and he was going to go and play and that there was nothing wrong with him. He looked skinny, but otherwise okay. Only a number of weeks ago on the day or the weekend of the Super Bowl. But there had been rumors that he was dealing with cancer. He had put out a tweet a number of months ago kind of alluding to saying that he had caught cancer of some kind. But he didn't get into any details at that point. And so it wasn't clear what it was, what stage it was in, how far along he was. But even a few weeks ago, based on the video, assuming that they had actually filmed it, at that time, he looked like he was doing okay. And some of the news had kind of faded away that he was sick and that the end of life may be coming. And then today, this news coming out from his family.
All right, Mike Muse, Alex Stone, thank you. And again, for anyone just joining us, we are reporting on the breaking news that O.J. Simpson has died. His family says he succumbed to his battle with cancer. We will have much more on his life and legacy right after the break. Stay with us.
Friday night, did these friends have secrets so private,
I kept asking her, what are you so scared of?
so dangerous,
She would do whatever to get her way.
they would do the unthinkable?
Police find this ominous video. 3 friends playing a dangerous game.
Would you guys rather suffocate or get shot?